Hello children, how are you? I hope you are fit and fine and studying also. As you all know, we are studying chapter number 7, Chandni, and we have completed first and second part of the story, and today we are going to discuss or explain this third part of the story. And in this third part of the story, we are going to focus on these points. First point is Chandni went back to the hills, and second point is she knew the wolf was somewhere there. She was, and third point, she was ready to put up a good fight. Now here the Chandni went into the forest, and there she understood that she will surely meet that wolf, ferocious wolf. So, and the third point, she was ready to fight. She decided to fight with that wolf. Now we are moving to the third part of the story. I am going to read first paragraph. Chandni reached the hills. It seems to her that the old hills were standing in a row to welcome her. She felt like a child meeting her parents. After years of separation, whenever she went, the tall grass rose to embrace her. The flowers bloomed to admire her, and the wind sang an endless song of welcome. How different all this was from her past in the prison house of Abu Khan's compound. It was the happiest day in Chandni's life. Now, here you can see in this previous section we have seen how Chandni, in spite of being treated like own child by Abu Khan, and decides and escapes from the house and goes to the hills to live a free life. Now, in the last section of the story, we will study about the experience and the events that take place in the Chandni's life, and she start to live in the hilly forest area. Now, here very beautifully Mr. Zakir Hussain has written this paragraph, these 4 or 3 paragraphs in the third part of the story, that Chandni has escaped from Abu Khan's hut and reached the hills, and reaching the hills, she felt as if those hills were standing in a row just to welcome her. She felt so connected to the hills and felt as she was meeting her parents after a very long separation, as if she was separated and was now getting reunited. Here you can see Mr. Zakir Hussain has given a vivid description of hills and the feelings of Chandni. And here we can see a new word in this paragraph, that is separation. First word is separation, means disconnection. Disconnection. Now we have seen that as she was separated and was now getting reunited with the nature. The tall grass and the wild flowers are seen to welcome her into the hilly forest. Now she felt like this. And the cool hilly breeze sang song of welcome to Chandni. Everything there was so nice and good to her, and she remembered her days of captivity which she had spent in the house of Abu Khan. So, and now felt so free and happy to leave that house and the compound of Abu Khan and wander far into the forest. This day, when she achieved her freedom, was one of the happiest day of her life, she thought. That was really was happiest day, because that day she felt the spirit of freedom, what she gained over there. Now we are moving to the second paragraph. That day she played for hours on the grassy slopes of the hills. She met a herd of wild goats who asked her to join their group, but Chandni politely refused. She wanted to enjoy her new freedom all by herself. Now here you can see after the feeling of freedom, she felt very happy and very calm inside those hills. And here you can see the word is bloomed. Bloomed means blossom. And next word is amuse. Amuse means cause to find, cause to find something funny. Something funny. Now, that day, the day she got free from Abu Khan's house, she had all the fun and enjoy that she could have. She played and ran all across the slopes of the hills. And while doing so, she met a herd or group of wild goat. As you have seen, she met a herd of wild goats who asked her to join their group. Now she met a herd or group of wild goats who we also roaming around in the hills, and there moving around in the herd gave them a kind security from any kind of danger. And here you can see which could arise from the lurking danger in the forest. But Chandni was so excited to be free, and she was unable to understand the offer the wild goats offered her, and refusing the offer to join them, went about alone into the forest, playing and running around. She was not agree to join that group because she wanted to feel the spirit of freedom lonely. Now we are moving to third paragraph. The sun disappeared behind the hills, and soon darkness enveloped the grass, the flowers, and the trees. The wind stopped blowing, and there was stillness all around, except for a strange sound which was coming from the bushes. The sound was like a grunt. What was it? It wasn't Abu Khan's voice calling her back to the compound, nor was the voice of another goat. Then Chandni thought of the dangerous wolf who lived in the hills. She felt scared. Should she go back to the safety of Abu Khan's hut? No, she said to herself. Death is an open field is far better than life in a small hut. The wolf had come out of the bushes and was staring greedily at Chandni. His eyes were shining like burning coals in the darkness. He seemed in no hurry. He knew the new goat was his. Now, this description, beautiful description, is given by Zakir Hussain. And here you can see the natural scene when the sun goes down. As the day progressed to an end, evening started falling, bringing the darkness and the calmness around the forest. The sun had set behind the beautiful hills, and the grass, flowers, and trees, which looked so beautiful in the sunlight, now shed their long shadow all around. Even the cool breeze had stopped blowing, and there was a very uneasy calm and stillness in the forest. Chandni had never felt anything like this before because she had always stayed in the house of Abu Khan and the safety she felt over there. And now she was alone in the forest. So she was tensed and afraid of the strange feeling she had within herself. After seeing the strange picture and surrounding of the forest, suddenly she realized that in spite of all the stillness all around, there was a very strange sound coming from a bush, very close by. It was a sound which was being made by some ferocious large animal. On one instance, Chandni, though that it was Abu Khan voice who might be calling me back to the compound, or it could be sound made by one of the goat she had met earlier. But none of her presumptions was right here. It had to be the sound of some large, ferocious animal who was stronger and dangerous. And what animal fitted the description? It was none other than but the wolf, about whom Abu had warned her several times. Abu warned, and he told the story about that wolf. But that time she was not believed Abu Khan's story. The thought of the dangerous wolf sent spine-chilling feeling into Chandni's body. Worst of all, fear had entered Chandni by now. One occasion she thought that maybe Abu Khan was there, but there was an ferocious wolf. Now here, sometime she thought that there would be Abu Khan, and here we see how bravely Chandni reacted. Though she was in a very desperate situation, she gave priority to her freedom because she fond of freedom and was ready to die rather than back to the life of captivity of Abu Khan's house. This paragraph is so inspiring after so many, you can say, the danger she was not ready to go into the captivity. As she was thinking about all these things, the large, deadly old wolf came out of the bush and nearby the bush, and it was continuously staring greedily at Chandni. He knew that here was a very good meal ready for him. What could the small goat to do to resist? His red eyes shone in the darkness of the forest, which made the wolf look more fearful. He knew that this very little or thin type of goat could not do anything. Chandni the goat had no chance against his might and strength. He would easily kill and eat the goat. He had all the time in the world and waited patiently for the current time to make his move and kill the goat. Chandni was now totally at the mercy of the wolf, and the wolf knew this very well, because the wolf thought that Chandni was all alone in the forest and she could not survive herself. Now we are moving to the next paragraph. The wolf and the goat sized up each other. The wolf was big and ferocious, whereas the goat, though healthy, was small, but small is not weak. Chandni stood firm on her legs, head slightly bent and horns jutting out. She was a picture of courage. She looked like a brave soldier, ready to fight a treacherous enemy. I must put up a good fight, Chandni thought. Success or failure is a matter of luck or chance. This beautiful thought she was having in that dangerous time when she looked that death is very near to her. But she never lose her heart. Now here we can see the wolf and the goat were now in front of each other, staring each other, and they just assessing themselves that who is stronger over there. And they assessing each other's strength and weakness. The wolf in all respect was better of two. He was cunning, big, ferocious, and brave also, and strong, and was adapted to the jungle environment. He was too old, whereas Chandni was small, but strong and healthy, and she had all the courage which was needed to face the wolf. She got ready for the fight by her courage, and in such a manner that her two small horns pointed out towards the wolf like two small knives. She was truly brave, though she had heard a fearful story about the wolf. She held her ground like a brave soldier, ready to fight against this cunning enemy. So, she decided to put up a strong fight against the wolf without thinking about the result of the battle. She knew in the end it was by luck and chance that the winner would be decided. I just need to fight the wolf bravely. Now, her thought make us strong because it's giving us a strength to fight in our bad times, or you can say when the time is not moving good or not, certain things are not happen exactly what we want. So that time we have to take courage and we have to be fight with courage. That message here Mr. Zakir Hussain passing away. Now we are moving to the next paragraph. The fight began. It went on through the night. The moon, which had been watching the fight, began to glow pale, suddenly hid behind the clouds. The stars also began to disappear one by one. A faint light appeared in the east, and the morning call for prayer came from a distant mosque. Now here you can see a vivid description of natural things, the moon and the sun, everything is given over here. And you can see the fight was started, and it was the courageous Chandni had put up a very brave fight against the wolf. Here you can see. The wolf never imagined that a small goat would fight him for such a long time. The fight went on all through the night. The fight, which began in the night, kept on till morning. And what happened? Morning hours, it was going on and going on when the moon slowly lost its shine and hid behind the clouds. And the stars also faded away, one by one, into the bright light of the shining or rising sun. A new day had begun, and the call for prayer from a mosque could, you can see, be heard. And the fight was still on between the wolf and the Chandni. She fought, and she fought bravely. And till the morning she was fighting with that ferocious wolf. That was, you can see, this shows the bravery and courage of that small, beautiful Chandni. And now we are moving to the next paragraph. The first ray of the sun saw Chandni lying on the ground. She was completely soaked in blood. The wolf, tired and sleepy, was getting ready to devour her. Now, this paragraph is so thoughtful, and here you can see, like a brave soldier, she fought with that ferocious wolf. As the sun rose up, the darkness in the jungle disappeared, and the place where the fight between Chandni and the wolf had taken place lighted up. Chandni was now lying on the ground after fighting bravely against the wolf. And what was her condition? Her condition was so pity. She was badly injured, and blood was flowing out from the various wounds in the body. The wolf, who had never expected a sheep or goat to fight so courageously, the wolf never thought about it, against him, was also injured and tired and felt sleepy that time. and very weak also, because the wolf was old and all the night he fought. That is why here you can see in the morning he felt sleepy and tired. He was ready to eat the goat which was lying injured in front of him. Now here Chandni was dead and her body was lying on the ground. Now we are moving to the last paragraph. An assembly of birds perched on top of the tree nearby was debating the result of the night. "Who is the winner?" one of them asked. "The wolf, of course." Most of them said. A wise old bird declaimed with confidence, "Chandni is the winner." Such a beautiful story Zakir Hussain has written. The bravery of Chandni you can see over here. In the closing paragraph of the story, we find the writer present the message of courage about the will to fight and win against the odds in shape of Chandni. And it is through small birds that you can say they were finally delivered the message that Chandni through lost the fight, yet she had emerged the winner. Some birds had come and sat a nearby tree and witnessed the last phase of the fight between Chandni and the wolf. Now they were seeing Chandni lying on the ground, all soaked in the blood from the around she had sustained during the fight. Seeing the whole fight, the birds started to discuss among themselves as to who the winner was. And the most of them, which was obvious, it was the wolf who had won. But among them was one wise bird who, though otherwise, and said to her fellow birds that the true winner of the battle is Chandni, none other than but Chandni. So this is a wonderful story, and it is all about the courage and the bravery and the spirit of freedom. As you have read in the second part of the story that Abu Khan said this, freedom meant struggle, hardship, even death. Abu Khan was aware about this. That is why he always wanted that this Chandni not go to that forest, should not go to that forest, because full of danger, full of wild animals it was filled with. Now in the last paragraph we have seen the courage and bravery of this little beautiful Chandni, and she died. Now some word meanings, some new words in the chapter I would like to give, that you just write down. After amuse, we have to write stillness. Stillness. Stillness means study, the absence of movement or sound. The absence of movement or sound. And the next word is jutting. Jutting means extendent, extendent, and ferocious. Ferocious means savagely, savagely fierce, or you can say cruel. And our next word is treacherous. Treacherous means guilty of or involving betrayal or deception. Now stillness means the absence of movement or sound. Jutting means extended, and ferocious means savagely fierce, cruel, and treacherous means guilty of or involving betrayal or deception. So these are the new words for you. Just write down in your copy and learn also. And we will continue tomorrow the exercises which are given in this chapter, comprehension check and exercises. So in next video we will see this, and after that we just revise this chapter thoroughly because it's having lot of new words and exercises also. So till then, bye bye and take care.